Hello, my dear friends. Sawadee Krap. Eric and some kind of a book. Morning. When I woke up, it was an early morning. The sun had just risen. I felt the fragrance of floral perfume and heard the princess' voice. Breakfast is not the table. I should go. I got up, did some exercising, sat on the terrace and saw the warm, freshly brewed coffee, fried eggs with crispy, crusty bread and fruit, which I saw for the first time in my life on the table. As I started to eat breakfast, I heard a voice of cheerful death. "Good morning, Eric. How did you sleep?" "Good," I replied. "I slept great." Death was sitting on the couch under a canopy where I slept. When I started drinking coffee, Death sat down and poured Lisa a cup too. As usual, it lit a cigar. Almost each time when I drank coffee or tea, a cigar appeared in the hands. Death took the book, flipped it through and put it on the table once again. "So, my dear friend," Death began to speak, "you know only two worlds. The human one from which you hardly moved and this which you really liked. I would like to invite you to discover other worlds. What do you think about that?" "Other worlds? How fascinating," I said thoughtfully. "There are many other worlds, some of them look like this too. There the logic is present, and there are worlds in which you completely forget about the usual logic. I won't say that it doesn't exist there. But it's completely different." "I agree," I replied. My mind was already captured by the dreams about new worlds. These dreams completely took my consistency away. "Well, see you later, Eric," said Death and instantly disappeared. Since then, the thoughts were creating chaos in my head. Why me? Why Death picked me? Wow, how great! But how enigmatic and mysterious all of this is. What is it and how is it? I could not even imagine what kind of illogical logic is waiting for me. Everything a little bit scared and alarmed me, but at piquant and calm at the same time. After a long thinking, which soon began to be repeated as it usually was, I decided to walk. I went outside, greeted my tomato neighbors who did morning exercise, and went to the beach. It was still not too hot on the street. Locals began to slowly wake up. I saw walking and smiling to everyone I met along the way, and in response I met the same cheerful and good-natured smiles. I knew the way to the beach, but at the same time I was constantly noticing something new in the way. Some of the buildings that I have seen looked a little different than the first time. Many flying machines standing near the houses, and various different creatures that never stopped amazing my eyes. When I reached the beach, which was very long, I saw 3 beautiful, colorful trees and sat beneath. I sat down on the sand and watched the ocean infinity. Some creatures were doing a morning jog along the beach. Some did gymnastics, and it resembled a yoga class to me. This whole situation was calming and soothing my whole inner world. All the thoughts simply disappeared. I had a pipe playing somewhere where were the voices and laughter, and all these sounds diluted the cheerful singing of birds and the waves of the ocean. "Good morning," I heard a familiar voice from behind. It was the blue cat and green owl. "Hi," I replied. "How wonderful the early morning is," said the owl. "Let us stay there." And without waiting for my answer, they spread a large blanket and sat on it. "Come closer," said Cat. "We drink coffee." "If you want, there is fresh juice," invited me Owl. And again, without waiting for an answer, she poured me a green juice. "Yes, I'll have juice. I already drank coffee today, thank you." We were sitting in silence. Cat was drinking coffee and Owl enjoyed her green juice. "I want to sincerely thank you," I said then. "You helped me a lot." "Come on," replied Blue Cat with a grin of joy. "You had helped yourself. You have chosen the world yourself. The one you find comfortable. All around the world, everything that happens in it is just a game. The rules of this game are completely in your jurisdiction. You may select them yourself and follow, or maybe not." Then Owl took an old colorful bag and showed me the very same book without a little which recently was lying on my desk. "This is the same book?" I asked in surprise. "No, it's the same book, we still read ours," said Green Owl. "But it was yours? I just told you about the rules of the game with the universe," said Cat, smiling at my surprise and confusion. "Let's build a sand castle," whooped Owl, winked to Cat, and they immediately fled closer to the ocean and began to build the quaint little towers. I lay down and looked up in the blue sky through the huge leaves of palm trees. The book was lying next to me, but again I was in a hurry to open it. When it will seem like it is the time, probably. Its content would show me the way nothing else could. My eyes were slowly closing. A gentle, sleepy state gradually has spread throughout my body, and I fell asleep. At first I dreamed about a huge field of fabulous flowers, over which lots of beautiful butterflies and bees flew. Then the field suddenly raised a huge wall and turned into a rainbow. After a few moments, the rainbow began to disperse and turn into a multicolored fog that enveloped me. As soon as I became completely dissolved, a picture of the old human world suddenly appeared before my eyes. This painting was static, like the photos, and they changed very quickly. Suddenly, one of the photos swallowed me, put me to my hometown. I was standing in the middle of the road looking at the sky. The skies were tightened by the rain clouds very quickly. Then I woke up. Owl and Cat was already gone, and the sky has accumulated clouds which promised to shed a warm rain. Standing up the ground, I saw a small town made out of the sand, built by Cat and Owl. Local kids of different special and colors were already running, playing something around it. I gathered the blanket on which I slept and headed home. I did not even make a halfway. Then the warm summer rain came out of the clouds. This world never stopped amazing me. The rain was of all the colors of the rainbow, and the multicolored warm pools were formed on the road. I could even walk upon them. But the most surprising was not the fact in the rain was colored, but that it tasted sweet.